Hello everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. We have warped to the next morning here of our save. We just finished, I believe, returning from a successful flight, returning plenty of science. We're up to 76 now, and we're going to go ahead and see about spending some of this. If we take a look, we can probably get one of these, whether it's basic science, flight control, aviation, or general construction. Let's see, do we want to start doing things with planes and try and get money that way, or do we want, what's this KV2? KV2P re-entry module. So this, if I look at it, come on, let me just please look at it. There we go. Let's see, it doesn't look like it has any sort of reaction control wheel. However, it looks like we unlock the reaction control wheel at the same time, which might offset that a little bit. And this does look like it has two people can sit on here. So we can bring a scientist and we can bring a pilot, which would hopefully increase how much science we could bring back. That's definitely a good option, I think. But I think for this episode, we're going to stay a little bit more close to the surface of Kerbin, and I'm going to go ahead and research the beginnings of atmospheric flight, and we want to take a look at that. Now, as you can see, we're down to about 240,000 credits there. We still have our Hall TD-25 decoupler into orbit of Kerbin, which we might have to do another time. We just finished one orbit, and that was tough enough, it seems. And we already have a flyby moon, gather scientific data from the moon, and return to Kerbin from a flyby of the moon. So this is a major goal for us, but I think for now we'll just see about doing a survey here on Kerbin itself. Let's see. There's some nice contracts here. All pay decently well, you know, between the 20,000 range. I need something relatively low here. Need somewhere relatively low. 17,000, 16. I think the 16.9. Well, I don't even know if we can go up to 10,000 meters at all. We don't really even have a rocket that could do that. Okay, well, this is what we'll do. We're gonna go ahead with the next big project. As much as I want to fly around in a plane this episode, I don't think we can get to any of these altitudes. 15,000, 16, you know, seems a little too high for a basic plane. So we're just gonna go ahead and see if we can't at least do a flyby of the moon here. Now, does it say how close we have to do? It doesn't really say how close the flyby has to, but we might as well just go to the moon, I think. To the moon and back. Here we go. So let's go ahead into the vehicle assembly building and take a look here. Now, if we take a look at our last vessel, this is the one that got us, you know, to orbit and from orbit just fine. However, I am going to be swapping some of these things out and changing how this is built a bit. Let's see, parts 27 out of 30. Weight is just fine, really. So let's go ahead and strip this down just to the return module a little bit. Even get rid of these engines and swap this out for the Terrier liquid engine here and the slightly bigger fuel tank, which means we can actually return back from the moon, I think, at a better pace than what the other one was allowing us for. So this is just gonna go up to the moon, kind of do a quick loop, and then come back after gathering some scientific data. So this is kind of our return. We might be able to use a bit of the fuel to finish off getting to the moon, but we don't have to orbit the moon, which is good. We only have to do a flyby, and It just says near the moon. So, yeah, we're fine there, I think. Okay, so let's think about the main stage. The main stage is what's going to be, of course, used to get us up and over towards the moon. So we're going to go with 4 fuel tanks. And do we have any sort of structural element to potentially throw on more than 1 engine on this lower stage? It doesn't look like it. Let's see, 108. What's let's see, what's its ISP here on this engine? 275, 250, 310, 305 in the vacuum. So this small one is technically the most efficient on the surface. I just want to see. We're you know, I want to see what it's like to have possibly a multi-nozzle bottom stage here. And let's just move these inward. Like that. There we go. And just one click out. So we get a little bit of a flare. And we have some of those small rockets poking out. That is going to provide, I believe, roughly 400 some thrust. So that's about the equivalent of 2 of the Reliance. So, you know, I don't think that's too bad at all. And it's relatively efficient, I would say. It's maybe a little less efficient in the vacuum than the Reliant, but it's more efficient in the atmosphere than the Reliant. So, yeah, that's kind of our trade-off there. Let's see how many parts we got. We're up to 23. All right. So, we need a little bit more lifting power on this one. And to accomplish that, we're gonna have to probably upgrade our space center. Well, maybe not. I might be able to get away with getting no cones on these. And just simply use this to basically get us up really close to orbit. Use this main stage to get to the moon, and then this to return. I have a feeling I might be able to bring this whole thing to the moon and back, but I'd rather over-engineer than come up short over and over. So we got those, we have these. These won't need to be turned on until later. We got that separation, we have that little poodle engine there. Deploy and deploy. Okay. TD-25. Yeah, we're not bringing a TD-25 with us. It doesn't seem so. Any other maybe utility that we might need? We don't have any battery packs just yet, so I think this is really kind of our thing. So these 3 engines, I want them to burn pretty long, so we're gonna try for 70% thrust on them. And that should, in theory, do it. All right, so let's go to MK1 Moon Orbiter. Yeah, space or bust. That's an apt description still, I believe. All right, so we have all that goody stuff. Our pilot, Jebediah, looks to be ready. And let's go ahead and out to the launch pad here. First flight of the episode, guys. And we're gonna see if we can't go farther than we ever have before. Now, the moon, holy cow, that's a lot of trajectory showing there. All right, so the moon is basically on our backside, but that's not quite where I want it. So I'm going to speed up time. There we go. And I want the moon probably roughly a little bit farther. A little bit farther. Roughly there. Roughly in line. I have a feeling I'm going to hit this rather shallow. Or... Actually, let's put it high in the sky. Because if I do this slowly, it might be better. Okay, there we go. There we go. We have a nice stable rocket here on the pad. Jebediah is looking pretty swell. Sun up there. We're gonna go ahead and do a wonderful countdown of launch. And off he goes. Now these 3 engines should do their job. Kinda never know, I suppose. Messing with my staging a little bit here. Alright, so we're at 100 meters a second. A good ascent rate, I think. We're halfway through the heavy lifters. The assists. We are getting up to speed, 200 meters a second, quickly approaching. Go ahead and start rolling it over. Okay, maybe not. We're getting a rotation here, so let's just get ready with the next stage here. And launch. Just like that. Alright. So I'm going to throttle back a bit until we get oriented in the right direction here. Alright, so there is the moon. So I think at this point, what I'll do is pretty much burn for it and see. I don't want to go into orbit of Kerbal. If I go into orbit, what will happen is that's a waste of fuel. It's far more efficient to simply go straight to the moon than to Nat. And I might have wasted a little bit too much fuel in the lower atmospheres, thinking about it. So let's get up probably closer to the 60s and then finish this fuel tank off and see how far we kind of get here. Definitely burn prograde. Alright, we are considered space. Space music is on. We're gonna go full thrust. And we're not even gonna leave Kerbal. Not even close to leaving Kerbal. This little capsule here. Rotate it a bit. Come on, I need way more horizontal speed here to leave the gravity of this planet. We don't even really need to get fully captured by the moon. We just need to get close to the moon and come back. Might have enough fuel. I'm worried. You guys are probably worried about it too. I can't set anything as target. I haven't really upgraded the whole tracking station yet, so it's not going to be able to assist us really at all. So this is a little bit fly-by sight here on this episode. No different than probably any of the other ones. Alright, so that is growing steadily. You know, I think we might be able to. Come on, get there, get there, get there, get there, and stop. Okay. Alright. Well, that's not good. Okay, let's try. turn this a bit and see if we get any sort of grab. We should, in theory. Maybe not. Alright, I'm gonna speed up time, let Jebediah leave. Wow. Okay, wow, we got there way too quick. Or way too late, in theory. Yeah, I guess I was kind of planning for more of this angle, like expecting that speed to keep up, but we just accelerated pretty much too slowly for that to happen, so we're over here now. Which is technically fine. What I can do is maybe slow us. I don't know if this will work, probably not. I don't know a thing about orbital mechanics. Slow us way down. Or actually, no, I need to speed this up. I need to round this out and let the moon catch up. So if I make this like over here, this might work. It's probably not gonna work. All right, that's the best I can do. Up. There we go. Look at that. We're technically in a flyby by the moon. In one shot, Uthris has done it. So where's the moon? There it is. Yeah, maybe I didn't need to do that at all. Because the tracking station isn't upgraded, I had no information as to if I was going to intersect its orbit or not. So I kind of shot blind there, but you know what? It works. So we're fly by the moon. We can gather scientific data from the moon, and we can return to Kerbin from a flyby on the moon. So let's go ahead and open this up. We will go ahead and observe the mystery gill. Yes. Take some temperature readings out here in relatively deep space. And we'll take some pressure. All right, and then we will take a crew report as well. And once we head back towards Kerbin, what I'll do is we'll do another little bit of science as we kind of sit in between the moon and Kerbin in that no man's land. Look at that. Look at that moon. One day we'll have a space base on here, refueling station and capabilities, maybe some mining going on, but today's not the day for the moon. Today's the day we return back to Kerbin here. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and save. Point retrograde. And just get this periapsis. Down, 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 down. I'm gonna get stuck out here, aren't I? I am. Okay, that's fine. I kind of expected that. So we're gonna load real quick. Oh, look, you know, we're here again. Hey, amazing. So it's really inefficient to slow down in this location. So what we're gonna have to do is actually let Jeb go another round of Kerbin here, which is perfectly fine. In fact, let's let me get out a map view and see if I can't point Jeb over towards Kerbin. Here, Kerbin. All right. And get a bit of a shot out the window. How's our electrical charge? Not that great, I will say. Alright, now where is the planet? Oh. There it is. There it is. All right, now we can just speed up time. You can just watch Kerbal float in space as it spins, and we spin along with it as it drifts off to the edge of the capsule and disappears ever so silently into the night. We are actually heading way out here. We got a little bit of a gravity assist, it looks like, from the moon. There we go. Point retrograde. And now fire. And you're going to see this drop way quicker than last time. And I wouldn't mind kind of doing this a little bit slow. Do a re-entry, right? Because I don't want to lose anything. I don't want to come in too quick. So 30,000 meters, I think, is fine. All right. We are in essentially a crash course straight into the planet. A little concerned. The moon is here. Hello, moon. Welcome back. Nice to see you again so soon. While we're out here, let's go this and change views and see if we can't just gather some more science. Why not, right? I need to install a little light here so you guys can even see what's going on. All right, so we'll just keep this while in high space over Kerbal. All right. Log some pressure data as well and log some temperature. Wrong one. There we go. And we can close this up completely, and for the final time, as we hopefully watch our orbit here interact with the moon in a good way. I'm hoping in a good way, or we could just crash into the moon. I'm not quite, I was worried. I was really worried that was gonna mess with us a lot. All right, there we go. Welcome back. And we're actually gonna fly right over Kerbal Space Center. Look at that trajectory. Right over from where we came from is right where we're going to land. So let's go ahead, point retrograde. Real quick. After we just fling that. There we go. So we're gonna come in retrograde, get rid of that. That'll hopefully just burn up in the atmosphere as it fairly tumbles through space. And we are gonna go in for a ride through the atmosphere. Hopefully not get too warm, though we do have that nice ablative shield there to assist through this. And with Jebediah being level 1, by the way, he does get access to these beyond just stability assist. He does have access to retrograde and prograde automatic aiming. Yeah, you toasty? You toasty? I think he's toasty in there, guys. Look at him. I think he looks pretty happy to be in there. Is it odd that I think the resolution of this cockpit is almost clearer than being in cockpit view? It's a little odd. There is the Space Center right there. We're coming over it. Our max height is shrinking rapidly. We might actually end up kind of close to the island, which is interesting. Oh, the camera is switching to surface camera. Wow, look at that. Returning home, Jebediah, winging it as always, and giving us all the science we will ever need on this trip, I think. So this is the drogue chute, I believe. Now, did I turn that off? Yes, I need to turn that off. How's the... Oh, well, I'm hearing things burn up in the atmosphere with us. So there is the abandoned flight center. We've just successfully gone over that. I'm sure they're launching a boat for us now. It'll be there in a few hours. We're definitely gonna touch down before they would ever arrive to us. We are going about 1,300 meters a second through the sky as the temperature cools. Jebediah staring wonderfully at the sun. Rotates his vision back home, where he's going to return here soon. Okay, so we can go ahead and let's see, what's our vertical surface speed? 700. We're going to deploy the drone chute. We'll go ahead and turn off stability control, because that chute by itself and the weight of our vehicle should allow us to point vertical. Look at that. There is the Space Center. As we switch to a more vertical descent here, our nav ball slowly rising. We're going to lose vision of the horizon line here shortly. Alright, where's our surface? Radar hasn't kicked in yet, but we're going to go ahead and deploy other parachute. Close to, I think that's either 10,000, I think right there. If I'm reading that right, that would be 10,000. So we are speeding, or slowing down. We're at 200, 190 some thousand. There we go. Good view all around. Parachutes deployed. I can see the boat they're launching off in the distance. 42 meters a second, which is basically perfect where we want. And then that's going to slow us the rest of the way, all the way down to 6. It's going to be a nice soft splashdown this episode, and really, I think that's, in my opinion, the first true successful mission of this space agency so far. One plan worked beautifully. Simple modifications to an orbiter that could then just be more heavy lifted into space. There she is. Splash. Good landing as always. We'll go ahead and recover the vessel and see how much we got. I know we got a lot of money. I know we did. 784,000 total credits. Now we got 202 science total at this point. Jeb gained 2 XP. Not quite level 2-star pilot yet, but you know, in our hearts, he's always 2-star. Oh, so much stuff to ponder over on what to do next now. Wow, congratulations, Jebediah. First Kerbal in space. First Kerbal to orbit the planet, and first Kerbal to leave the planet to another body and return. So, good job to them. Let's go ahead and, you know, I might want to upgrade our tracking station now. I think that's fine. That will allow that whole process to happen a little bit better. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade mission control, and I think I'll go ahead and upgrade the base building facility to level 2 as well. The next big upgrade I want is probably the research, the R&D center, and then also probably the space plane and hangar. But we're gonna save as much money as we can. We spent a lot just now. We might have to upgrade the launch pad sooner rather than later, just so we can get some heavier vehicles out there. And the space center is getting upgraded. We're getting more funding from the government. That's good. Let's go to the R&D and take a look. We can I think finish off this whole little section. So we're gonna go get general construction. This is going to give us some struts so we can be a little bit more stable in flight as we add more pieces on. We're going to get the launch stability enhancer, which will kind of allow heavier vehicles to be launched, not putting all the weight on the bottom there, which will be good. Some larger decouplers, crew cabins, and some bigger fuel silage structures. We're going to get the new KV-2P reentry module, which we might use. You might. Though current, maybe. We'll find out. Some winglets, that's fine. And then battery pack, which would be good. Science Junior, experimental storage unit, antenna, probe. Finally have a little bit of a probe core there, which means we can start kind of making satellites at this point. So we'll go ahead and research that. Up here, we're on tier 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Tier 5, we don't have enough science for any of these. But this is far more larger rockets, propulsion systems, more minor kind of specifics, for landers on there. Fuel systems, so we can start managing our fuel and doing multiple stage rockets, and all these new parts are really cool. Look at that, size 1.5 decoupler. That's new. That is new. There's a turbofan engine, which would be good for aviation, because right now we only have a small circular intake. Launch escape systems, landing gear, probably pretty important to have landing gear. Does this even come? Yes, okay. It does have some landing gear. And yeah, a bunch of stuff to look forward to as we keep progressing down tiers of Kerbal Space Program. If you guys enjoyed this episode, I know all we did was go to the moon and back, but I'm pretty happy with that achievement. With that, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button. Leave a comment down below on any designs or things you want to be done in the series, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.